We're back, bitches.
It's 2024.
Welcome back to season 2 of Good Moms, Bad Choices, because you didn't know that our first season was 300 episodes.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Good Moms, Bad Choices.
I'm Erica.
And I'm Mila.
And it is fucking January. We're like in it. It's like 2024.
It's 2024. It is Life Path 8 this year.
What the fuck does that mean? I can't keep up. There's so many paths. There's so many things. I don't,
there's only 9.
There's a life path. There's astrology. There's the human design. There's the JQ, whatever the fuck test.
Yeah, that one.
There's so many tests. I've done them all. Although I can never remember that HJQQ.
I don't know what that one is either, but I have.
It's like the ones that make you take when you're like trying to be in
a job,
in big important jobs.
Yeah, I guess the point of the matter is
what is Life Path 8?
I have to look it up.
Okay.
What's your life? Do you know your life path number?
I found out, but I don't remember.
I'll tell you. Let me tell you how you do it.
Tell me.
You add up the numbers in your birthday, but you don't use double digits. So if it becomes a double digit, you add them together. So you're 10, 25, 1987. So 1 plus 0 is 1. 25 is 7, so that's 8. And then 9 and 10. 9 and 1 is 1, because 19.
Okay.
And then 87 is 15.
I already lost count.
Shh. 19, 87. That's 15. That's 6, 7. You just made me forget.
Bitch, I'm about to look this up on the internet because
you have to add it up.
I'm about to have them add it up for me.
I think.
God, there's no calculator that does this?
No, it's 10,
oh
1.
My, I found one.
8,
October
9.
25th. Come on, get it. I love when Mila tries to do math out loud in her head.
This is different type of math.
She stresses me the fuck out.
That's because you're talking so much, you're stressing, you're making me feel like I can't do it.
We will sign like big loans, and she'll be like 20,000 plus 22.47 times 2.3.7%. Yeah, we can do it. I'm like, bitch, what are you talking about?
Because I have to write it down.
Okay, wait, I got it.
8, 9.
Wait, your life path number equals 1 plus 7 plus 7 equals 15/6? What does this mean?
You don't listen. Your life path number is 1 plus 7 plus 7, 15. Yeah, you're a 6. So
it's, what is this? What is it? 15 divided? What's the 6?
Your birth month is 10, so that's a 1, like I said. Your birthday is 25, that's a 7. Your birth year is 1987, which is 25, which 5 plus 2 is 7, because there's no double digits.
Okay.
So 7 plus 7 plus 1 is 14 plus 1 is
You're 15. Stressing everyone out who's listening to this right
5 now. 5 plus 1 is 6.
Okay.
All the witches know except you.
Okay.
This is called witch math. You're not called boy math. This is witch math. There are no double digits. There are no zeros. You just get with what you got.
Okay, so my life month. Okay, 6. Okay, your life path number is the number of. I'm going to put this link in this week's episode description so you can figure this out and not have to do all the math that you just had to hear right now. But your life path number is the number of responsibility and awareness. Those with life path number 6 tend to be the healers of our society. Because of your loving, compassionate, and responsible nature, you are likely to find yourself following endeavors that involve helping those who are weak and less fortunate. Be wary and of becoming overburdened by those seeking a helping hand or a shoulder to cry on, and mindful of not recognizing that the help and assistance you think you are providing to others can also be seen as too smothering and interfering. Interesting.
So this year is a year. This year is a number 8, and that means it's a number of creative numerology. Oh wait, no, sorry. 8 is the number of power, material, and financial gain, achievement, reward, status, and satisfaction. The 8-year vibration will provide the means, the personal power with which to change the status quo and accomplish a significant goal that will alter the direction and quality of your journey. So I've been hearing that a lot, that this year is about reaping the benefits and the, how do you say when you plant the seed, the sow, right?
Plant the seed, sow the seeds you reaped.
Reap the seeds you sow. Let's reap the seeds you sow.
Whatever Erica Badu said.
We're drinking too much
What Erica Badu said that.
It's like a witch. Guess who's coming to a city near you?
Us bitches. That's right. We're going back on tour with Confessions of a Good Mom.
Are you ready to confess your dirty little secret?
Are you ready to have the ultimate girls' night or date night? We're hitting Philly, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, New York, Charlotte, Houston, and Dallas. And we cannot wait to turn up with you guys.
If you haven't been to a Good Mom show, it is epic. It is fun. It is debauchery. It is a night of freedom, pleasure, and celebration and connection, and do all the things you wouldn't do Monday through Friday.
We are giving you the ultimate girls' night, the ultimate date night. So bring your lover, don't be shy, and come hang out with us in your city. Click the link in this episode description and do not miss out. We're going to be in Philly on March 13th, Washington, D.C. on the 14th, New York on the 16th, Atlanta on March 21st, Charlotte March 22nd, Houston April 18th, and finishing our tour in Dallas on April 19th.
This ain't like any other live podcast show you've been to, so get your hoochie gear, get your ladies, or come alone and come shake some ass.
I did have, so if you're watching this on YouTube, we're sitting, so let's rewind. Our last episode of the year, which was really special. If you guys haven't checked it out, I want to encourage you to check it out, especially if you have been listening to the show since the beginning and remember the days of me and Mila sitting at the dining room table with the elevator music when our kids interrupted. And just, those were some the dynasty days. And so we shot our last episode there right before 2024. And now we're sitting in my living room of my new crib, which we're not going to be recording a lot of episodes here. This is not going to be the new house of recording, but we could. You never know. Who knows? But we're sitting here and we're drinking coquito. Thanks to Nelly. Shout out to Nelly and her coquito, Puerto Rican roots. Cheers, my dear.
Cheers. Happy New Year,
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
And cheers to you.
Cheers. I've had about 3 of these already.
Which probably leads to why we're a little bit talking in circles and doing weird math.
Which math?
Which math?
So life path 8 means abundance in creativity and finances?
Yes.
I like that. I feel that.
Yes. We have to do, also you can use your life path number to see if you are compatible with your partner. So, yeah.
What's Orlando's life path number?
What is it again? A 5. I just redid his math recently because he was like, it's either 0, 5, or 9. And I was like, It's not 0.
Can it be 0?
No.
I'm like, that's kind of a fucked up life path.
You said 0, 5, or 3. That's what you said. You did. I remember.
How are the paths aligning?
I think they're aligned.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't align there, it'll align somewhere else. Like
in another astrology zone.
Yeah, another astrology zone. There's always somewhere to, dissect how you show up in the world, even though there's so many different factors, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna give us one more reading.
One more reading.
I'm
like, the life path said, but what do the cards say?
Let me see. My number 9 is. Wait, yours is 6?
Yes. What's in the cards for us this month? What are we going to be putting our energy towards this month? Cards, Mother, Spirit, Ancestors.
Wait, are you ready? 6 and 9. Of course that goes together.
You're gross.
The relationship compatibility of a number 6 with a number 9 is one of the most positive and successful matches of all.
Duh. 69, baby.
Number 9 is one of those rare people who gain the respect of a number 6. The 6 just falls for the way. His every effort is recognized and appreciated by number 9. What? Interesting. But yes, we are compatible, honey.
You fall for the 9? I fall for the 9?
I'm one of the rare people that you fall for. Basically, you don't like most people.
Oh my God, it's so true. Wow, look at that. The cards be knowing, or the paths and the cards. Would you like to pick a card, my dear?
Sure. King of Cups.
King of Cups. So we'll read that at the end. Tarot time at the end.
So I know it's a new year and everybody's always doing all those like big, vast, I'm going to be a new bitch, new year, new bitch. And what are your goals for this year? Or what are your hopes? What have you learned from last year that you're going to bring into this year?
I feel like the last part of this year was like a reminder to play. So I'm going to bring that into this year. I'm excited for our retreat. I'm excited to travel. I'm excited for our tours. I'm just excited to kind of just like float around and dance around in all of the like magicalness that we've created and just like be confident in what we've made. And I think I'm really inviting in love in this year. I'm always inviting in love. I'm going to be inviting in love forever and ever and ever, always. In all ways, you know.
Those bitches.
And just keeping myself, it's not even inviting in a specific person. It's really, for me, a reminder of like making sure that I'm moving with love so that I can always attract that. And that I'm not letting anything or anyone kind of get in the way of how I give my love, how I'm able to spread love to the people that I love, and not allow anything to, I guess, get in the way of how I do that. So just like being more loving is my goal in 2024. 2023, I feel like tried to like really take that, tried to test me on there. Tried to test me there.
Tried to test your love.
Tried to test me there. Like, bitch, you want to be a cold bitch. Just be a cold bitch, okay? And I was like, you know what? No.
Fighting that coldness.
I'm not going to be a cold bitch. I don't want to be a cold bitch. I want to be a loving, soft bitch with cold boundaries.
The crazy part is it actually requires work.
Yeah.
To not be a cold bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's being aware, because when shit happens to you, inevitably, it makes you build walls and defense systems, because you're like, you're not going to get me twice, bitch. Mm-hmm. Or if I have less love and empathy to bring to this space, then if you disappoint me, I'll hurt less later. Mm-hmm. But then it cuts you off from everything, mm-hmm. like the playfulness, because mm-hmm. you're constantly on a defense mode and you're constantly like, no, I don't really love you, you know? And I think that coldness can begin as a defense mechanism, but it can become permanent, and then you don't know how to turn it off. Mm-hmm. And I think especially for women, because we are such feelers, you know, we're such like naturally empathetic, and I think that's why a lot of women are cut off, because in order to navigate this world, you kind of have to be a little bit hard on the exterior so you don't get constantly fucked, you know? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was aggressive. Mm-hmm. No grease. But it is, I'm also coming to the same realization just about the reality of showing up cold, or what that means, or why that's my go-to. Because, and then like actively doing things to stay in the softness and to like the how do you say, compassion, mm-hmm. you know, just to be more like Buddha. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because it's hard. And I think we don't talk about that enough. Yeah. How being hurt can ultimately make you a cold ass bitch, and no one really wants to be a cold ass bitch. But then one day you wake up and you're like, oh no, I'm a cold ass bitch because too many motherfuckers were playing with me. But now you're just lonely and sad and cold to everyone, because you can't navigate, you know, who's to trust and who's not to. And usually your gut will do that anyway. But when we go against ourselves, we let people fuck with us, and then we become cold bitches, and then we're like, you know, the angry woman, you know, the angry middle-aged woman in the club who's like, how old are you? And we never want that, you know. We want to be just easy, fun, you know, loving.
Well, I want to be able to, I want to be in control of the energy in the room. And I feel like the best way that I can control that is I could do both. I could do one or the other. I could like be the bitch in the room, which I mean, I can easily do that. That's really easy for me to do. And I can change the energy in the room in that way. Or I can like be the love in the room and like change my experience in the room as well. And I had this thought the other day because my mom called me and she was like she was acting like she was just in a bitchy mood. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, why are you being...
Why are you calling me with this?
Yeah, why are you calling? And I know it wasn't really me. She was just like in it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be patient because I know I haven't done anything wrong and I'm not going to take this personally. And then I went to her house and I could still see like this energy on her. Like she was like wanting to like
be nice.
She like, no, she wasn't wanting to be nice. Like she was wanting, like she couldn't help herself but to like have an attitude and like change her energy. And all it took was for me to lay on her and she softened immediately and our whole experience changed.
Because you were
the whole experience that we were going to have that night completely changed because I said, I'm going to take initiative of this and I'm going to do that. Even though like I didn't really want to. It's not that I didn't want to. Of course I want to like lay on my mom and love on her, but it wasn't like my instinct to do that. I knew that like that's maybe what was going to help her. And I was
it takes you removing out of your own ego and pride to be like, this is unnecessary. You're getting on my fucking nerves, and now I'm annoyed. Like, be the conduit instead of being the malleable person.
Well, it's like I wasn't going to meet her at my frequency. I was going to help her meet me at mine. Right. And I'm like, yeah, like come to meet me up here because then
we'll both be down here.
Up here, we're up here now, and now everything has shifted, and now our experience is going to be shifted, and we had a better night. And I think she had a better evening after I left. But I just thought about like how often I haven't done that and how I have met people at their frequency or even lower sometimes. And I just don't want to do that next year. Like, because I spent a lot of 2023, like, I don't know, like I enjoyed it. We had a lot of beautiful moments in our business. I had a lot of beautiful moments personally too. But it was overshadowed by like this other like frequency of like just like anger and anxiety. And I just know that I'm ready and I've already moved through this of like releasing that, and I've seen how much better it feels in this space. And even though not every day is like this at all, but I've also noticed too, like I've gotten back way more into my meditation, and like it's like working out meditation. Those two things for me, like I have to do them, where I literally feel a shift in myself. And in the meditation, it was so crazy. I was out on Christmas morning. I went to the beach. And I woke up, I didn't have Irie, which is like, I don't think I've maybe ever not had her on Christmas, maybe like one time or something. And she was with her dad and her brothers and sisters and stuff. And so I was like, I'm just going to like really take my time this morning. And I went to the beach and I like did this deep meditation, and like, it was crazy. Like I felt all of like the feminine, like energy, and my grandmothers, really, it was like the presence of grandmothers around me, and they came to me during my birthday in Joshua Tree as well. But I've been having a hard time connecting to that energy, and like usually when I meditate, I'm able to kind of, I don't know, call them in. And so that meditation was a reminder of like, they were like, it almost felt like they were like my galactic team. My galactic team. Shout out to Mother God.
R.I.P. Mother God.
I was like, oh my God. I literally, when I was in meditation, I kind of giggled because I was like, my galactic team's here.
She was onto something.
She was nuts as fuck. But and it was like, we're here. We're here for you. We're gonna be here for you all year. We're gonna be here forever. But like, let's go. Let's enter into this year again. We're here again for you, because I met them at the beginning again of last year when I was going through a really deep transition in my relationship, and they ushered me into 2023 in a really powerful way. And then somewhere along the way, like I felt like I kind of like started detaching from my practice and myself in ways, which is why some of 2023 feels like a blur. Like we had a lot of wins, but it was often overshadowed by like the turmoil of my own makings, you know? And I feel like I have a stronger foothold on how to like reestablish that connection that I have with them. And it's in joy, and it's in meditation, and it's in just like not taking everything so seriously. So I really want to bring that energy into 2024. I want to encourage people listening too to do that. Like, this shit is like, life is to be enjoyed. It's to be playful. It's to kind of prance around like a motherfucking fairy a little bit. Especially if you've like figured some shit out, you know? And I'm in the point in my life where I have figured some shit out. Like, I've unlocked a lot of my powers, and there's more to unlock, but I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful that I've been able to do that with you. I'm grateful that I've been able to do that with myself. And it's like, okay, well, this is what you asked for. So now are you going to, let's play in here now.
Are you gonna choose that?
Let's play in these things you've created, and these energies that you've created, and all these entities that you've manifested. Like, come on. Yeah. And like moving too has been like a very big transformation for me. And like sitting in this house, like, I wake up and I'm like, wow, I needed an energy shift. This was such a big, important thing for me too, entering into this year. And I said that. I called this in and I said, I am moving by the end of 2023, period. I wrote it down. Shout out to Patreon, because I wrote that shit in Patreon in a blog post. I was like, this is what's happening, bitches. And everyone was like, Ashe.
That shit matters.
And it did, and it has. And like, I really didn't know how I was going to make it happen, even when I wrote it, you know? And I just fucking trusted it, and I did. And I'm like, okay, well, come on. Like, so what you going to be mad about now, bitch?
Right.
Literally, that's what was my thought. Like, when I woke up in my house my first day, I was like, so what are you going to be mad about now? What's the new thing you're going to be upset about?
Well, that's the thing. We'll find something. If we're not conscious, if we're not aware, we will find something to be mad at, like quite literally.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It reminds me of Beatrice talking about her team, like all the ancestors that sit with her.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I think we kind of know this. We kind of have this idea because we think about like when you're little and there's a prayer and like, oh, you know, this person goes to heaven. But like, I don't think we generally, really, realistically visualize our people supporting us and ushering us to wherever we need to go. And like, I think that's the difference. I think it's like once you know and you acknowledge them and you're like, hey, let's go. I see you. I feel you. You
have to acknowledge them.
Yeah.
It's so important. Because how the fuck are they supposed to help you if you're still acting like you ain't seen them?
Right.
You don't know they're there.
Right. And then you also, it kind of gives you a level of accountability because like you said in the beginning of the year, you were in contact and then you've lost it, you know, on the pathway. But it's also like a point of accountability. Like, this is not just for me. You know, like all these doors have not opened for us just for the fuck of it. You know what I mean? It's just like some real divine shit, but you have to respect the divinity of it all. And by respecting the divinity, it's respecting yourself. Mm-hmm. Because all these people in our galactic team are, you know, a lot of relatives, people who have been close to us, people who have passed over, people who are just our guides, or, you know, spirits who are just our guides. But ultimately, they're what's inside of you. Like once you go inside, that's when you have access to those things. And, you know, even talking about all of our powers that we have unlocked in this process, I think about that, you know, and people, because I imagine where we were prior to starting this, and you see people like, not that we're on TV, we're on YouTube. Yet. It's like, you know, people are like, I want to think, you know, all you got to do is believe in yourself. You know, they accept the award and everyone's like, God, my mama. And everyone can do this. You just have to believe in yourself. And you're like, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Right.
Easy for you to say, you know. And I had to think about the moment, like what was the unlocking of the powers. And there are obviously lots of moments.
It was that time by the Christmas tree. One of those moments was...
one of those moments
was the last 2020 winter solstice.
2020 winter solstice.
We unlocked, when all the black people unlocked their magical powers that day. You know what I'm talking about. You know what the fuck I'm talking about.
But
and if you didn't unlock, I don't know what to tell you.
But even that day, you know what I realized, and what you said, it just came to me? in all of the unlocking, every single, minus some of the painful unlockings, which are mostly lessons to the unlocking is always almost 99.9% playful. Mm-hmm. It's almost always so fucking magical and so fun. You're like, this is not real. This is a movie. And I think that those type of events can only happen when you're totally calm and chill and cool and safe. And that's why a lot of them happen on vacation or on mushrooms in your living room on Christmas when you got shit to worry about the next day. But there's a level of like, I don't know, like, you have to be in to even see the shit, you know? Like, oh, there's my grandma. You know what I mean? Because, like, when we're constantly in this go, 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 or this, like, I'm not good enough, this is not good enough, I'm not making enough money, this, like, it's harder to see those things. And it's like, once you get into the place where you can feel relaxed, then you can see your galactic team, and then you can unlock and get to this next point, you know, and get the house and manifest the thing. Because I think even for me too, like moving this year and like there being quite, it was an obstacle doing that. You know, you know what you need to do, and you're like, how am I going to achieve this goal? But there is something so beautiful about coming home and being like, I love it here. This is my house, and I feel good in it, and everything is exactly as I designed it. And even that is a reminder that your galactic team is working with you. And it's like in every accomplishment, acknowledging them in its presence. You know, that's how you achieve it. That's how you get there.
Yeah, no, it's true. You have to revere them, and you know, it feels different for everyone. Like some people, for me, like it's an energy present. There are times, like when I was in that meditation, I could see faces. I could feel literally like, I could feel like the closeness. It literally felt like they were like hovered around me, like looking over me. But I just think like as I'm reflecting on like the beginning of my year and the journey and like the message really has been that all paths lead to you. And that you can avoid, you can distract, you can do all the things, nurture, you can love, you can fuck, you can do all these things, but ultimately you got to sit with yourself. Ultimately you can distract as much as you want, but you can run as much as you want. And you can try to change, even like when I was saying, like I woke up here and I was like, I moved in here and I was like, am I going to choose to have a problem with something else now? Like, you know, and it's my choice whether I do that. You know, it's nobody else's choice, because outwardly everyone would be like, oh my God, she's got it, she's great. And it's like, yeah, it is. And I do feel that way. And I have chosen that because there's always going to be something else. There's always going to be
an obstacle.
There's always going to be an obstacle, you know? And I guess the reminder and like the lesson is to just trust where you're going and trust the process and just be.
And just be committed to finding the magic in everything, you know, like of course there's things that are ugly and there are things that are painful and there are things that are annoying and there are things that, you know, the kids don't listen and they don't pick up after themselves and people are fucking ungrateful and all those things. But like, where's the sweet part, you know, like that is truly the only thing we have to do in life is like stay alive and find where it's sweet, because this is all we got, and it's so short. It
is true. It is about finding the magic in everything, even the fucked up shit. Like really like trying to find the magic even in like the darkest corners of whatever happened to you last year or whatever you're going through right now. The beauty of it all is that there's always more. Like if you choose to move on from something that you know doesn't serve you, you know there's no
penalty.
There's no penalty, but you are guaranteed that there is going to be something else, you know, like, and then you get to decide if it's better, you know. And when I was thinking about like the path, and we kind of dove into this in our meditation at the beginning of this year, of just like how like the journey of the path looks looks different all the way around. Like the seasons change. How you feel changes, what you see changes, but really it's a mindset of like how you choose to really transmute whatever it is that you're experiencing. Like I could be driving through a winter cold I could be driving up a winter cold road. It's snowing crazy. And I'd be like, what the fuck? I hate it here. I fucking hate it here. Or I could be driving and be like, oh my God, it's so beautiful here. Look at the snow. The seasons are changing. And it's really just a matter of like mindset.
Perspective.
Perspective.
Abso-fucking-lutely. It's literally like is the glass half cup? I mean, is the glass half empty or half full type shit?
Yeah.
You know, it's literally the simplest thing. It's like removing the veil of like ugliness and being like, oh my God, I'm alive, I'm breathing, and I can move. Huh. You know, and it changes everything.
Like even like if you're living, say you've lived in your hometown for years and years and you're like ready to get the fuck out, but you can't right now. It's like, so what are you going to do? You're going to wake up every morning and be fucking miserable that you live in this town? Or you're going to drive today and get in your car and appreciate some of the things that maybe like you didn't even think to appreciate. That beautiful tree that always kind of tells you when fall is hitting, and it's like all these beautiful leaves are on the ground that you've never really appreciated. Like it's just as simple as that type of mind shift to really change your perspective around even bigger topics. And I think sometimes we get so caught up and stuck in what we don't have and what we haven't achieved. And sometimes, you know, these New Year's markers can feel so overwhelming because they're like a timestamp or like a timestamp on a note to like everything that maybe you didn't check off your list in 2023. And I know people talk about this every year. It's like, don't be so hard on yourself, but really don't. Really don't, you know, and see what happens when you don't. And you probably will check more shit off your list when you just don't do that.
Well, you have to remind yourself that your worth is not tied to your productivity and that you are not perfect. None of us are perfect, and that's okay. And you're going to fuck up. And it's really about like picking yourself up gently every time instead of being like, I'm the problem. Nothing good happens for me. Like, I'm lazy. I'm this. I'm that. Like, stop giving these forever titles to moments, you know, especially when you know better. This show is brought to you by BetterHelp. So, you know, it's a new year, and I think everybody can agree. Every year, everyone's going gung-ho to like do extreme changes. But the truth is, you need to do like baby steps.
I agree. And one of the baby steps that have helped me is therapy. And, you know, as Black people, Black women, Black men, therapy sometimes is this taboo thing. And that's the reason why I love BetterHelp, because it really helps people kind of ease into this idea of therapy. You get to sit in the comfort of your home. You get to really customize your experience and find the right therapist for you. And therapy has been something that has changed my life.
Drastically. It's a game changer. I think people are so into fixing their bodies, going to the gym, taking supplements. But the truth is like none of that health matters if you don't really tend to your mind and your soul and your spirit. And the only way to really dive into that is through therapy.
And honestly, BetterHelp makes it so easy. You literally just fill out a brief questionnaire and you get matched with a licensed therapist. And you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. So if you're not feeling her or him, then move on.
That's really the best part. It's like makes it so easy to date your therapist and move on if it's not necessary. I use BetterHelp, and I like the first time was a charm, but I know friends who've had to like, just date around in their therapy, and it's been a game changer for BetterHelp.
It really is like dating, and they know so much about your life, and it's really a place for you to really get vulnerable. So if you have a hard time getting vulnerable with friends, family, sometimes talking to someone who doesn't know your life can be actually life-changing, because you can really show up as yourself. You can tell them everything without judgment, and that's why I love BetterHelp.
So if you're thinking about starting therapy, here is your sign. Give BetterHelp a try. It's easy, it's flexible, it's convenient, and it's for you.
And guess what, you guys? In honor of celebrating new beginnings for 2024, we want to celebrate all the progress you've made, and BetterHelp is giving our tribe 10% off your first month of therapy. All you have to do is visit betterhelp.com/choices. That's BetterHelp whorie.com/choices for 10% off your first month of therapy.
Happy healing.
But if your worth is tied to your productivity, because there is a, like, yes, that is an unhealthy concept, right? And I know, like, you know, people say that a lot, but just make sure, if it is, like, at least make what you're doing, whatever productivity means to you, that it's intentional, and that, like, it doesn't have to be a crazy output. To be productive doesn't necessarily mean to fucking kill yourself
Or be on the laptop all day.
You know, it means to, like, do something that's nourishing to your soul, nourishing to your evolution, and that can feel really good, and that can be linked to your worth.
Or even just like honoring yourself. Like, I'm tired today. Say no. Lay the fuck down. Like, that is a part of productivity. But I think the Western world makes us feel that everything is so go, 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 move, money, 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 success, and what success looks like. But I think we forget that just by existing, just by being born, that we're worthy and supposed to be here, and worthy of love, and worthy of, like, peace and rest, and like making those all equally as important, and not just like this Western view of work, 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 work. You have to actually also be doing work on yourself, and work on yourself does require that you tend to yourself and your needs, and that's in rest too, and in play, and in, you know, all the things that are not necessarily in the rule book. And I think that's just like another ode to good moms, bad choices, is because who's to say going to play for the weekend and not, you know, saying playing hooky from work or whatever the fuck you need to do is bad. It's necessary. You know, sometimes you have to run away. Sometimes you have to get the fuck away. You have to listen to you. That voice inside of yourself is important.
Mm-hmm. It is very important. And half the time, like, you know, I'm like, people don't even, we put so much pressure on ourselves, and people are not even thinking about us.
Right.
We be like, oh my God, we're late, they're going to hate us, or this or that, or we didn't put the project, like, no one even knew it was coming, bitch. No one knew the Instagram post was going to drop. No one knew the email didn't go out. No one cared except you. And now you've literally aged yourself 2.5 years in 3 months because you've stressed yourself out for no fucking reason.
That's the thing. It's like, as you get older, you better listen to yourself.
And that's what I feel like. I feel like in this mid 30 range of age, I have to be really careful about my energy, because that shit can age me. Like, literally, it'll make me look older. And I've seen it. I've seen myself and looked in the mirror and seen energetically, if I am, like, fucked up, I look older. And I've seen, like, myself look younger when I'm lighter.
Well, think about it. Heavy energy is heavy energy. It's going to bring your face down. Heavy energy gives you wrinkles. It's going to bring all your skin down. But, like, light energy.
I've also been really beautiful when I'm sad and depressed. Yeah, because I get, like...
I haven't.
Because I get skinny.
Notoriously, I've not been
beautiful. But
it's
a specific type of sadness in which where I don't eat. There's, like, the sadness of, like... There's, like, sadness where I overeat. You bitches, you know, if you're listening right now, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know, there's a sadness that makes you starve. You can't keep anything down. You can't eat. Then there's the other sadness where you just want to eat ice cream and sit there. And they're two distinct, different sadnesses. The one where I don't eat, I actually do look better.
You like that sadness? That's a sadness.
That's
you
a
welcome.
good sadness
I'm pretty sure there's also, you know, the light happiness of being healthy.
Yes, happiness is the more ideal one for everyone involved.
You're going to be skinny, but you're going to be a bitch to everybody you meet. So it's not going to work.
Yeah, so that's, yeah.
Then you'll be lonely.
I said what I said, but I don't condone the things I said. But yeah, I feel like have to be more intentional about how I move through stress. And I know that just because of, like, just diseases in my family, how I've seen them manifest in stress, like cancer, autoimmune diseases, literally triggered by stress. And that shit runs deep in my family. Like, I could I'll be out here bald any second, bitch.
What?
I could really be out here bald at any moment.
Okay.
You never know. Like if I start losing an eyebrow, just know the stress has hit and the autoimmune disease has creeped in.
I mean, it's the truth though. Like stress, anger, resentment. That is the type of shit. Jealousy. That makes you physically ill. And y'all keep playing. It's really true. Like, you don't want to be a bitch. It's going to make you ugly. You know what? Maybe that's like the campaign, because nobody wants to be ugly. Everybody's vain. So maybe if they're like, oh, if I'm kind, then I'll be...
Guess what? Public service announcement. If you are a nice, kind person, you will look better. You will be a finer bitch.
You'll be more youthful.
You will be more fine. You will be more appealing.
I don't know if this works though. If you're just being nice just to be more appealing, that's
your skin will look tighter. You'll get 6-pack if you're nice.
If you find yourself genuinely just not wanting to be kind, feeling like a bitch and loving it, you might need to dig deeper.
I've felt that way.
But there's probably something... There's something deeper, though. There's something like you're deeply sad or angry about some shit that you need to kind of address, because there's no way you should be this happy being a bitch all the time.
I don't know if it's a happy. It's just more of a I don't give a fuck who this affects type of energy.
But the I don't give a fuck. The I don't give a fuck is like, it's such an easy cop out. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. How I feel is how I feel. And it's, again, the defense system's like loading up, like don't care, don't feel. And it's just like, you do care. You care about other people's feelings. You care. And
no, in fact, I care too much, which is why I'm at a period. I'm on a pause of caring right now. So currently I don't give a fuck, but it's because I give too many fucks. So I've chosen to like not give a fuck for at least 6 months.
Well, you have to also be aware of who you're cutting off from the fucks given and who you're not, because there's a lot of people who genuinely love and care about you, and those are the fucks you should give.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like you got to be careful about how you don't give a fuck and with whom, because that is the that's the thing. It's like, it's a cop-up because it's easy. I could just like, fuck all that shit, you know? I'm going to go where you agree with me. But the truth of the matter is showing up kind and choosing nonviolence is the high road, like Michelle Obama said. And you have to constantly be working at it. And my goal, and I hope for both of us, that we become so deeply in our practice and deeply in our commitment to, you know, world peace and compassion and love, that it comes second nature. And I think that's the goal right now. Second nature is to show up a bitch when someone pisses you off. I mean, for me, it most definitely is. But how do we transmute the energy of the world by shedding light and bringing people's frequencies up versus bringing it down? I struggle with this, because if you come with me with some violence, 9 times out of 10, bitch, I'm going to choose violence back at you times 14. It's true. Easily. I'd be like, oh, perfect. You want to do this? I was happy, but, oh, you want to be a bitch? No problem, you know? But it's like, no, how do you constantly choose the high road? Like, you got to, like, do that thing, like, stop in slow motion and be like, I can respond right now and I can be a bitch. Or I can just touch. I can just touch you and look in your eyes and say, are you okay? And sometimes you do that to me. Sometimes you're like, are you okay? And I'm like, fuck. She's looking at me. I'm fine.
Fuck you. I think it's also important to, like, the company you keep to also, it's important to, if you want to be in that frequency, you also have to be intentional about the energy you have around you too. Like, it's important that you surround yourself with, you try at least to put yourself in environments that support that training that you're in right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't necessarily go hang out with the same person that like puts you in that space and try to like also get out of that space, you know? Like, you actually have to.
Do we need a bitch safe word? Like a bitch safe word? Like, if you feel like we're being bitchy, or you feel like, you know, are you having attitude?
This reminds me of Damon. Remember he told him and Rocky have those safe words? What was it? Tomato or something? Avocado.
Maybe you and your friends could benefit from having a safe word. So maybe it's not even like you beef with each other. You just feel like something's heavy, or like you have an attitude about something. And so you're like, hey girl, bananas? You're like, fuck. You know?
Oh, God, yes, bananas. Bananas.
Bananas. Ugh, yeah, bananas.
Do you want to talk about it? No.
Okay, shifting energy.
But we're clear that there's bananas here.
And we're gonna, and then once you acknowledge the bananas,
sometimes that's all you need is to shift, to be acknowledged, and that's kind of like goes back to like that moment with my mom. She just needed to feel cared for, acknowledged, and
you didn't even have to like. Maybe had you said it, you seem like that would have not been the route, but because you just instead,
I did say that though.
You did,
so I did say that, and that wasn't working.
Okay. I was gonna say, that
I was like, "What's up with you?" I'm like, "What is going on?" I asked her twice, and then I was like, "Okay, this is not working. This is not the end."
Because you know why a lot of those times when you're in those spaces,
they don't want to talk about it.
But it's more than one thing. It's an energy that's cultivated. So when someone calls you out, it's you probably didn't want to really arrive there, but now you're here. Now you're stuck in it. You're committed to it, and now someone's asking you, and then you realize whatever it is so stupid that if you repeated it,
but if you still feel the way you feel, and you don't feel like talking about it, and shut the fuck up.
Let me be a bitch, right?
Let me be a bitch and shut up. I don't know. Okay, let me just have my moment. That's how I am a lot in my life. So I resonated with that feeling, and I realized that me asking wasn't helping, because it was all of that probably too. She tried to explain it, and it was like I could see her getting overwhelmed trying to tell me why, and I was like, okay. So this is just a reminder to you to sometimes just see what you can do with your energy to shift your experience, because that's really what it's about. It's like creating beautiful experiences for yourself. It makes me think of our dear friend Lizzie Jeff, who always travels with roses. Like, she creates the experience that she wants everywhere she goes. Like, create the experience that you want. Create the environment that is going to best support whatever it is you're working on in 2024. Whether that's patience, peace, confidence, boundaries, whatever the fuck, yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Same, sister. Same. And also just fear, like just like shutting that shit too, because fear just limits your living, because you're just worried about failing, and it's like at some point everybody's gonna feel either way. And even thinking about the last 6 years of this, and like just doing it, and like failing sometimes, like doing shit wrong and saying the wrong shit, not uploading shit, but still doing it, and not being afraid of failing, because there was nothing really to fail, because there was no, I mean, of course there were super successful podcasts, but it was only us and us, and just the amount of diligence we had to show up with, and like just applying that same thing in every aspect of our life is just being fearless, because fuck it, ask the question, do the thing, like fuck it. And I feel that this year, and I've found myself giving myself a lot of pep talks about like who the fuck I am, but just taking that into the next chapter, and just understanding that we've done so much, and so anything we choose to do, whether it fails or is whatever the fuck, it's necessary, and
you're pushing the energy forward no matter what, whether you fail or not. So inevitably it's going to hit somewhere along the way, as long as you keep moving. And
you might as well be being happy while doing it.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck is the point if not?
I feel like we're all going to end up dying, and we're going to be on our deathbed and be like, fuck. Well, why did I spend so much time like fucking worried about that shit? Why did I care so much?
The reality
is, why didn't I? It's just, yeah.
The reality is niggas die every day.
Yeah. I was thinking about my body recently. I was like, oh my God, like we take our bodies for granted. Like we don't take care of them now. And then we're like, we'll never know what our bodies could have actually, like their truest potential could have been, because we fucking beat it up for most of our lives. We actually don't know what our truest potential of our like physical sack of skin is.
Right. Like if we were top notch, I think about that all the time. Like, what if I just stopped drinking and drank a gallon of water every day, like everybody says? Or even just like I've been having, like all those Instagram advertisements about parasite cleanses.
Oh God.
So now I'm like,
you've been talking about fucking parasite cleanses.
Because now
Should we just do one?
Yeah, we had to just take 6 papaya seeds.
Okay, maybe we'll do it.
But then what?
We'll report back.
But if we see parasites, I think I'm gonna be traumatized.
I want to get those fucking out of me.
I want them out of me too.
I honestly, like, we need to get them out of our bodies.
I think if I see parasites come out of my fucking butt, I will.
Don't look.
No, I have to look. Also,
how about I'll look for you and you look for me?
That might be the end. Like, that might be the end of unhealthy Jamilah. If I see fucking parasites come out of any orifice of my fucking body, I'm gonna be a fucking bodybuilder. I'm gonna drink just water.
If you see parasites come out of your ass and nothing changes, you're disgusting. How? You don't care about yourself. So therefore, that's what we have to do.
Do we have to do a trigger warning for this? This is a lot that we're talking about right now, but everyone has them.
Parasites?
Apparently, everybody has them.
We all do, of course.
I'm going to puke.
Maybe we need a little parasite.
No.
Maybe we need just a little parasite. Like,
I don't
balance.
need, no.
Just
we need to eat papaya seeds every day. This is the PSA.
I hate papaya, but I will eat papaya seeds.
No, bitch, we're eating papaya because you want the parasites out.
I'll eat papaya seeds.
Also,
you said papaya seeds, not papaya.
The seeds. I'll eat all the shit.
I don't like papaya.
I'm clearing all this shit out.
I'll have a smoothie with papaya, but not straight papaya.
Well, then somebody else told me something else that I thought was interesting about in relation to the parasites. That someone had went to like an Eastern doctor, and they were saying that they're like basically little demons. Like, they are entities. They're living sentient, they're beings. So they're inside of you, and a lot of times,
oh my god, they're like their own little universe.
Yeah, in your fucking body.
There's another universe inside of me.
I'm grossed out.
Whoa.
So
that just blew my mind.
But like in Eastern medicine, like all of our organs, there's different points that relate specifically to other things. And so she was saying, like, in her liver, when they pressed there, it was rage, unreleased rage, and then it was releasing to her gallbladder, which was resentment, ended up being resentment. And I was like, wow, imagine just being so in tune that if you address these things that you have not addressed emotionally,
you can find them in your body and
really like
them and transmute them.
It's correlated. Yeah,
absolutely. All of it is. We're aliens.
We're computers, network systems, and we're the top programmer, and we got to get with the programs. Okay. So, like, if you're that
Hit him with that analogy. Hit him with that analogy, baby.
If you're that bitch, and you know you're that bitch, then program it, bitch.
Program me.
Program me. Program you, because you know.
Reprogram.
Tell the rest of the cells to get with the fucking program. You're not afraid of shit. You're a winner. And that's it. Like, that is the reprogramming that needs to happen. But first, we need to eat papaya seeds to take out the virus.
Step 1. Oh my god! Wow, this is very important information.
I think so.
They might mute us on the internet for saying this. Now we're gonna get targeted just for saying this. For you eat 10 papaya seeds, you get deleted.
Well, also, remember what we discovered back in the day? We've had some pretty good discoveries on Good Moms in the last 6 years. We also discovered, because, this is the shit the man don't want you to know.
I don't want you to know this kind of stuff.
Papaya seeds, if your man takes them, is also a natural birth control. And then once he stops taking them, he can nut in you, and if you want to have a baby, you can. He can be on natural birth control, but the government doesn't want you to know. Shh. Papaya seeds cures everything. 2024.
If people get pregnant because of our fucking...
We are not health doctors. This is not 99.9. This is only 99.9% active.
Your body God will do whatever she wants.
I know that. That's why a bitch is on that IUDizzy.
IUDD. Speaking of sex, do we have any Whories? It's Whorie time. Let me light up this joint for us, baby.
Thank you, honey.
You know what? I think we need a fresh joint. Fuck this little joint.
We're not no little joint bitches.
We don't do little joints around here. Hold on. Where's my pack?
Shut up.
Let me get my pack out. Hold on. These little tiny ass these are my favorite joints. I fucking love these joints.
They come like
They're
that?
perfect. They're like the perfect joints for
the little minis
for like
moms.
Working moms and people.
Yeah, it's also for adults who you can't get too high.
I mean, these get you kind of hot.
Yeah, they do.
They're just enough.
This is a fact because the bitch is high. Ooh. Are we ready for the Whorie?
Do you have a Whorie for us?
I'm not really permitted to tell this Whorie. I was just at a dinner and the girl was telling us the Whorie and I was like, I'm about to use this.
Ooh, get the tea.
So basically, the girl that I was at having drinks with some friends and a cousin, she's a friend of a friend. She lives out here. She has a son, but her job had suspended her for 30 days without pay.
What did she do to get suspended?
I didn't ask all that. Listen, follow the story. So, mama got to do what you got to do. The son's tuition is due. She's like, fuck, what the fuck is that? So she calls one of her hoe friends. And her hoe friends tells her
Everyone has a hoe friend.
Everyone, you need to. You need to get in the places, find out the news, find the money. So the girl basically tells her about this site. And I don't know the site. I got to verify the site. I know y'all going to be calling, asking about the site. I'm going to find out what it is. But you got to pay $150. So it's like a real hoe site. It's basically like you got to invest.
Invest in this hoe shit.
Yeah. So I just thought about all the hoe sites I put myself on.
Wait, I put myself on a few too.
Okay. Over the years.
Like a sugar daddy.
Yeah,
one.
sugardaddyforme.com. I just had a flashback of all the attempted hoe times that just.
There's another one. What was that other one? Oh,
you know you're not a hoe if your attempts to be a hoe suck. This is me.
Yeah, nothing ever happened.
Always.
Never met one of them.
No.
Not met one. No John for me.
So, okay, she invests the $150. And she decides she's going to do it in on the East Coast in D.C. She's never been, so I'm not sure why she did that.
Probably she doesn't know anybody.
I think the girl was there. Maybe the girl was there.
She doesn't want anyone to know her.
Yeah,
She's
that's
smart.
True. That's true.
That's where I would go too.
So she only buys a one-way ticket and a one night at a hotel. She signs up for the
in and out.
She signs up for the site on her little burner phone and gets on the flight.
Okay.
I think she uses someone else's pictures. I forgot. We had asked all these questions.
On the site, different pictures.
Yeah,
like she gonna? Why would you do that? Because now this nigga's gonna show up and you ain't gonna look like.
Maybe she did use pictures. I forgot, but she was saying her friend uses somebody else's. Whose pictures she uses?
Who?
Mystika. Her friend.
Who's Mystika?
Never mind. I know you know.
Who the fuck is Mystika?
Mystika Chocolat.
Chocolat.
The one.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway, that's just a side note of it.
Okay.
So she flies.
I was telling secrets on the podcast on YouTube. Come here.
Because I know you know. Okay, so she flies into Baltimore. She has to take a train or take an Uber, whatever, from Baltimore to the hotel in D.C.
That's actually that's a good. Sorry, I got distracted back on the other detail, and I was like, actually, that's a good picture to use.
Okay. Other than the fact that it's probably not her.
I would believe it. I don't know. Okay, sorry. Never mind. Go ahead.
So she takes a Uber from one city to the next city. She gets to the she gets two Johns text her, and for some reason she just goes with this one. She's on the way there. He's like, oh, this is right around the corner from my house. I know that hotel. She shows up. She realizes the hotel is like a boutique hotel. It's small. She's like, what the fuck? I can't get John's here, basically. She only gets it for one night. She goes up to the room. The guy's like, I'm in the parking lot. She's like, what the fuck? The girl who originally put her on the site isn't answering the phone. Hoes, we all know they're not reliable. Okay? So
hoes don't be reliable.
But at this point, she has her game face on. She's like, fuck it. I got to get this money. I'm out here.
Fuck it.
So the guy comes up. She's all talking, like looking for her clothes because she's got out the shower. And he goes, this is your first time doing this? And she's like, fuck. Like, he's on to me. And she's like, yeah. He's like, I can tell. He's like, I guess she's doing a lot of talking. And like, so he's like, how much if you just want to, like, if I want to keep, if I want to hang out with you for the week. So she's like, she just puts out a number. I think she said like $3,000. She should have went higher, but she's just trying to cover her costs at this point. Make her, make the tuition and shit. So anyway, he ends up moving. He offers to take her to another hotel. He ends up moving her. He's like, you could stay at my house and keep the money for the hotel, or I can put you in a hotel. And so she goes to his house. It's really nice. He gives her, puts her up in the house. He stays for a week. He buys her dresses, takes her to parties, museums, like really kind to her.
She found her Prince Charming.
Now it's her boyfriend.
What the hell? When hoeing goes right.
When hoeing goes right.
When hoeing finds you, you're Prince Charming.
You know, for years I thought this would be my story, that I would somehow find a Prince Charming, like working at a high-end hotel or sugardaddiesforme.com. Never worked out for me in that way. I was like, wow, girl, this is a beautiful story. And she showed me his picture. It's kind of cute.
Wow.
Instinctually, she knew to go with that one and not that other guy.
You know, hoes be knowing. Also, the hoes be witches.
Hoes be witches. Mm-hmm. You know why? Why do you think that is? Why do you think that? I think.
Oh yeah, sure. Tell me.
I think when you reach a level of disconnecting from the expectation of society of freedom, then you get access to those powers. I think there's a level of not giving a fuck about people's feelings, but not giving a fuck about how people receive you. Whether it be like in your sexual essence or in just how bold you are and how much space you take up, whatever it may be, especially for women, I think when you kind of stop giving a fuck about that, that's another way to your secret powers.
Yeah, you just don't subscribe to the dogma and you just like...
Fuck it.
Yeah.
So that's my host story for contribution. That woman did not give me permission to use that story. I'm going to try and find her and DM her and tell her... There's a lot of spots missing in the story, but basically that's the gist of it. She came up.
Well, if she's listening now, I want you to know I commend you. That's the dope.
She's in love.
I love this story.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's the new Pretty Woman.
Oh my God, it is. The new age Pretty Woman.
The new age Pretty Woman. Okay, is it tarot time?
Tarot time. We pulled the Knight of Cups, you guys. The Knight of Cups. Shout out to Mahogany Tarot.
Let's see what the stars are telling us. The Knight of Cups is a classic romantic of the tarot deck. He is in touch with his intuition and emotions, and he uses them masterfully to charm and attract others. He shows compassion and understanding towards others because he has learned to understand his own feelings and emotions. The Knight is kind, caring, and very in touch with his feminine side. He might be found writing a romantic poem to his lover.
Also fine, yes.
He's probably fine. Yeah, he clearly is fine.
He looks kind of fine right here.
You may find him writing a romantic poem for his lover, creating art inspired by his innermost feelings, or approaching a vibrant sunset with a glass of champagne in his hand. His heart is wide open, and he wears it on his sleeve. He shares his love freely with others without constraint or worry. He is in love with love itself. When the Knight of King appears in a tarot reading, you thrive on all things beautiful and are inspired by many creative outlets available to you. While the Page of Cups was inspired by an imaginative idea, the Knight of Cups is motivated by action. You have dreamed about what it is you want to create and now are moving forward within this dream to make it a reality. It may be an art project or something you feel called to do based on your emotions, imagination, and intuition. Be open to exploring your passions and your big ideas. You may find yourself drawn to a particular passion or hobby, and now is the time to turn it into something.
Ooh, and come to our Mother's Day retreat in Atlanta. Sounds like you need to come and stop sleeping on yourself, sis, and come to our retreat. We're doing a Mother's Day weekend retreat. It's centered around creativity and wellness and tapping into your gifts and your arts through play, through pleasure, through
creative expression,
through real shit though too, like real actual tools on how to, take your little side hustle to the next level. So I'm really excited to connect with all the ladies in Atlanta at our little mini mansion, because we don't got a little mini mansion for you hoes.
That's a mansion.
It's not even little. It's a mansion.
Come hang with us.
We got acres. We got acres and shit. We got acres.
I'm excited. I'm excited to go to Atlanta and just be in a really intimate space and create together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's a different energy than our normal Good Vibe retreat, but similar, but more, I don't know.
Focused.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see who we attract to that space. But I love you guys. Be well. I love you.
I love you.
And cheers.
Cheers.
Do you need some? Do you have some in there? You got a little last little
I
sip?
got a little sip. To making all of our dreams come true this year and every year, and to getting, free and compassionate into the bag again.
Lots of abundance.
Lots of abundance. Tastes good. So good. So you know where to find us. Goodmoms_bad choices or goodmomsbadchoices.com. We have a lot in store for you this year. A lot of things on Patreon. So a lot of good guests. So be sure to leave a review and join Patreon for all that exclusive content.
And we love you. And bye.
Bye.